Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Hutcher, and with my project, I worked on analysis of affordable housing and healthcare accessibility in Chicago. So, um, affordable housing and healthcare is one of the bases of a community's well-being, and Chicago often faces disparities in resources distribution when it comes to that aspect. So, this project actually examines the relationship between affordable housing and healthcare accessibility using and I use the data merging techniques and also clustering techniques. So the goal of my project is to inform policies to address resource um, gaps and improve community outcomes. So we can actually know how what resource needs to go where, so that everybody is gonna improve the equality when it comes to well-being of the community. So my data sources I got it from the um, affordable housing, rental housing data sets. That's from the Chicago government website. And I got the public health, um, Chicago Department of Public Health clinic locations data set as well. I'm going to add the links at the end. Um, so the purpose of this project, the data sets were merged. The data sets were merged using a common um, column. That's the zip codes to distribute to analyze the distribution of housing and healthcare across Chicago neighborhoods. So the zip code is a common column. Keep that in mind. So the methodology, um, missing data was handled and zip codes were standardized. We standardized everything according to the zip codes. We made a new like kind of data sets using just the zip codes from both the common zip codes from both data sets and then merging it together. Yeah. So the data sets were merged and with the clustering techniques, we use the k-means algorithm grouped zip codes based on housing availability, and the elbow method determined the optimal number of clusters. Analysis, the patterns in resource distributions were identified and interpreted. So this is the results that came from us doing our clustering. So you can see from the analysis, the cluster one shows moderate housing availability. That's about 50 to 100 units. Cluster 2, high housing availability. That's um, greater than 100 units. And cluster 3, low housing availability, less than 50 units. So we see what we are talking about here. And the key insights we can say the cluster 3 highlights the underserved area requiring targeted invention. So we already know that we need to allocate more resources to cluster 3 because they lack them. Cluster 1 includes moderately served areas with potential for improvement. So cluster 1 is not too bad, but we can do more. So we can take note of that as well, cluster 1. And also, cluster 2 reflects well served where resources should be maintained. So even though they have good resources, we should make sure that they don't get reduced or something. We should maintain that level. Okay. So in my conclusions and the findings, we say significant disparities in housing, in affordable housing distribution across Chicago um, neighborhoods. Um, so that's what the analysis concludes. So we can say that there is significant disparities in affordable housing distributions across Chicago neighborhoods. And the recommendations I would give is we prioritize the underserved areas, that's cluster 3, for targeted housing initiatives. That's the zip codes in cluster 3. That's what we pay attention to. and assess moderately served areas, that's cluster 1, to determine additional resources needs. We also have to sustain the current resource levels in well-served areas, that's cluster 2. So my final notes will be planning a crucial to promoting equity and enhancing community well-being. So that's our goal, and I believe with this analysis we can reach that goal. So I added the raw data, that's my table stating all the um, zip codes of the underserved areas. We can see that I stated that, and I put them into according to their clusters, which I'm going to be attaching to my final project. Thank you very